All right, let's go ahead and get started. So this is our May monthly meeting. We've been holding these all year long. The agenda for today is we are going to talk about the importance of vertical alignment, which is very important to top score writing in the way that we design our curriculum. I'm also going to go over some 2026 curriculum updates coming for the next school year, talking about budgets, our free curriculum and resources, and then I'll have time at the end for any questions that you may have. Let's talk about vertical alignment. So what's really important to me is that students are able to grow each year as writers. So the problem is that when everyone teaches writing differently, there are hundreds of right ways to teach writing, but when it's different, students are learning a new way of writing each year. They're not actually growing as writers. But if you decide on one curriculum, one language and one format to teach year after year from K to 1 to 2 to 3 and so on, that is how your students grow. And so the same things that we teach in kindergarten, the same structure, the same way to plan, the same language, the same format is the same thing we do in fifth grade, sixth grade, eighth grade, ninth grade, 12th grade. And that is the idea behind the design of top score writing. So when you think about, does your school have a clear plan? Maybe some of you are using our program in fourth and fifth, which is great, but it's really important that K1, 2, and 3 are as well. So by the time they get to you, they're at that fourth grade level. So it's something to talk about with your admin, your coaches, start having those conversations of what your vertical alignment looks like. And do you have a plan? Because if everyone's doing things differently, that's why you're going to get kids at that K1 level in fourth and fifth grade because they're learning something different every year. And yes, our kindergartners and first graders can write. I've seen it at hundreds of schools. So vertical alignment is going to build consistency among grade levels. It's going to be able to see that clear progression of skills. It's going to prevent those gaps, okay? Those gaps of how they get to fourth grade but don't know how to write a complete sentence, right? Or how they get to fourth grade and can't put together a simple paragraph. So it's going to create those strong student outcomes. And then, of course, it's going to strengthen school-wide instructional focus. And I will say this, writing is not just about your writing test. I know many of you are in states that have writing tests, some are in states that do not. This is, yes, my curriculum will work great for the writing test, but it's also writing as a skill across all subject areas. If you guys have not heard me talking lately, I am real big on the research behind students writing things out. So if they're in science class and you want to see if they understood it, have them write a paragraph. But you can't have them write a paragraph unless you taught them how to write a paragraph. And every teacher across all grade levels and all subject areas should be teaching the same way to write that paragraph, or else they're not going to be able to write it and it's not their fault. So we want to make sure we have that vertical alignment consistency so that we can use writing cross curricular and we're all speaking the same language and the same format. This is something that we created that I'll be happy to send out to you. This is scope and sequence. This is each skill in each grade level, or I mean, I'm sorry, the skills for each grade level for each genre that students are going to need before they go on to the next grade level. So you can see here we've broken it down by expository, argumentative, narrative, and then your overall skills are like your conventions and grammar. So you can see in kindergarten for expository, students should be drawing, they should be dictating, and some writing to share factual information about a topic in a 4 sentence paragraph. So by the end of kindergarten, they should be writing a simple 4 sentence paragraph. By the end of first grade, they should be drawing and writing using a short piece of text and providing a sense of closure. Second grade, writing to a prompt, okay, using transitions, having an effective introduction and conclusion, and so on. So you can see these are all the skills by the end of that grade level students should have before going on to the next grade level. So you know what, if you're a first grade teacher right now watching and your students aren't here yet, this is something you might want to have a conversation with your admin about, like, listen, this is where our students should be. I need curriculum and resources going to help me get them there. Okay, because if you don't have it, it's not your fault, right? So we want to make sure that you have writing curriculum, not ELA. ELA is great for reading, has a little bit of writing. You need explicit writing, okay, with daily practice or at least 2 to 3 days a week where they're able to do writing. So this is really important for students. And as a mama for myself, I think it's a disservice to kids when we don't teach them how to get their thoughts on paper. And when we teach them a bunch of different ways, it's confusing for them. So vertical alignment with this scope and sequence are how you get successful writers out of students. So remember, it's not your fault if you don't have the right curriculum resources, and it's not the student's fault if they were never taught or they were taught a bunch of different ways. So just kind of think about that as you get to the end of the year. Again, maybe some conversations that you want to have before moving into next year. So if you've been using TOPS for writing, we have a kindergarten curriculum. We just finished it in January. It's brand spanking new. I'm going to go over what it covers. We also redid our entire first grade curriculum. So if you're using first grade, we redid it all. Okay. We made them into daily lessons that you can just follow. 15 to 20 minutes a day, tops. Okay. And we're really asking first grade for 3 days a week, 15 minutes. That's it. We've designed it to be done 3 days a week, 15 minutes each time. Okay, so it's really doable for first grade. We also redid our first grade grammar. So there's a whole grammar section as well. And then for 6th through 8th grade nationwide, okay, not our Florida, our nationwide curriculum, we redid that as well. So these are all our new things that we have for you. So if you've had some of these in the past, again, we have new additions coming out for this next school year. So we talk about kindergarten for a minute here. You can see kindergarten is going to start with oral storytelling. No writing at all. For months, the beginning of kindergarten, there's no writing. We want them to start with oral storytelling, looking at picture cards, starting to tell a story, beginning, middle, and end, starting to get those thoughts on paper, okay, and seeing the relationship between their oral to their writing, okay, because that's what they're going to have to realize over time is that what's up here has got to come out in paper, and we're going to show you how to do that in an organized way. So it goes from oral storytelling to then identifying sentences. What type of sentences, capital letters, punctuation, simple things, okay? Then they're gonna learn how to write a complete sentence. You can see here in this example, they're going to draw a picture, then write the word, then sentence. We call it PWS, picture, word, sentence. Okay, they're gonna learn what a complete sentence looks like and learn the difference between a sentence fragment and a complete sentence. And there's a lot of repetition and practice work on that. And then the end of kindergarten, they will write a simple paragraph that is 4 sentences. Okay, so that's the progression with kindergarten. Now with first grade, I want you to notice, we go back to writing a complete sentence because we want to make sure that's a mastered skill. We review again, writing a paragraph, because if you remember, this is where we left off with kindergarten, complete sentence, writing a paragraph. We are picking up with that in first grade, complete sentence, writing a paragraph. So the first few sections are what they should know. We're just making sure they've mastered it. Okay. Then we're going to get into writing a simple 4-paragraph essay. Simple, guys. Look at the picture here. Don't freak out. Okay. First grade can write a simple 4-paragraph essay. And then we're going to end first grade with text-based writing, a short piece of text. You see this paragraph up here? That's the text, a short piece of text, planning and writing. Okay. So that's our kindergarten and first grade. Very simple, very doable. Again, for both these, we're asking for 3 days a week, 15 to 20 minutes each time. Okay, these are skills that are going to help all subject areas and get your kindergarten and first graders on track and allow them to grow as writers and also be able to use these skills in all subjects. When they have to write about what they're reading in their ELA block, they should be able to write because you've been working on that during writing. Science, you want them to draw a picture and write a sentence about what you just taught. They should be able to do it because of what you're doing in writing. Okay, so again, these are skills applied throughout all subject areas. So as the end of the year comes, teachers, admin, I know budgets have been out. Some of you have already closed, but we want to start having those conversations because what happens is a lot of schools start reaching out August and September begging, but saying they don't have it in the funding, and they try to, scurry and figure out where they can get it from. They usually do, but it's hard. And so put in those quotes now. Even if you're not sure, put in a quote. It doesn't hurt. It's just a quote so you can see. And then from that quote, you can say to us, hey, I don't have 5,000, I only have 3,000. And we can help adjust and show you which way or how to get that lower price. We can meet budget needs. We have lots of options. So if you look at your quote and get overwhelmed, just know I've had people put in $20,000 quotes and got it down to 2,000 or 3,000 because we have options, right? We have digital instead of print, okay? Or we have print instead of combo. We have lots of different options to make it work for all budget needs. So please at least put in the quote, let us help you, let us figure out what's gonna work with your school. So we have curriculum. Remember, we have print books and we have digital licenses. We have professional development. We have 5 sessions that are in sequential order that give out a grand plan. You know, we start with how to start with writing, we build on that, how to score, and we keep going through to build you as teachers with that confidence and those strategies you need to be successful. Now with professional development, you can just do one of them, okay? Or you can do all of them, or you can pick and choose. But I would at least say that first one is going to give you that big picture curriculum overview. We also have grammar books. So if you don't know this, our print books do not come with the grammar. Our digital licenses do. So if you only have print books, you can purchase a grammar book, a printed book, so you have access to our grammar curriculum. And then we have consumable workbooks. Those are our optional, okay, keyword optional. We have student passage books and student activity books. These are completely optional. If your school has extra money and does not want to make any copies, you can buy a student passage book and a student activity book for every student, and you'll never have to make a copy all year long. It will also serve as a writing portfolio. But you do not need to purchase those workbooks because all of those sheets are in the teacher curriculum that you can make copies of for your student classroom. So purchasing options, I do have a full video on my website that you can watch, but just to kind of give you a quick overview, we have print books, which you'll see on the left. We have digital, which you'll see on the right, and we have a combo, which is print and digital. So people say, Lisa, what should I get? Well, that's a big question, but I'll give you my best answers here. Digital is going to give you access to everything in the print books, plus teacher-led videos, plus PowerPoints, plus grammar. So obviously digital gives you more resources and you're getting everything in the print books. The problem is I've been in thousands of classrooms and it's very hard for teachers to memorize lessons. I wrote the lessons like a script for the purpose of you being able to use them and read from them while you're teaching. So if you only have digital, you're not going to have those print lessons in front of you, which is why the combo is the best, because you get the book. So you have the lessons in front of you. You can hold the book while you're teaching and just follow along. I tell you step by step what to do, what to say, what to write on the board, what to hand out, everything. And then you also will have that digital access, which will give you access to PowerPoints and teacher-led videos and the grammar. So the combo is the best. Now, if you say, Lisa, we don't have money for all that, we're cheap, we're on budget restraints, okay, then I'm going to say go with digital. It's cheaper. But I am going to say, as a disclaimer, please, 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 if you only have digital, print the lessons that you're going to be teaching each week. Okay, so if you know that you're going to teach lessons 20 through 24 next week, print 21, 22, 23, and 24 so you have the lessons in front of you. The biggest mistakes I see teachers do is try to wing it up in front of the class as I'm watching, the lesson in front of the classroom. And it's not your job to study these lessons or to memorize them because I know you guys have a million things to do. The idea is have the lesson in front of you, read it. And as you get better, you can make it your own. But you can read it. It is like a script. And if you have the print books, you're going to have it all right there. You just turn the page the next day. Lesson 1, day 1, lesson 2, day 2. It's very easy to follow. Every lesson builds upon the next. Okay, lots of scaffolding built in there, research-based strategies, everything. So when you're thinking about that, a lot of schools will start with the combo the first year, and then the years after they'll do the digital. Because once you have the print books, you're good to go. So if you buy the combo the first year, you'll always have the print book, and then year after year, you can just renew your digital. Okay, but again, going back to budgets, digital is the cheaper option. Just print those lessons. We have tons of free resources. I don't know if you all are aware of this, but there are lots and lots and lots of free resources. It is on our Linktree. You can see the website down here. It is Linktree/top score writing. There is that little dot in between the R and the E on purpose. That's the way they do it. We have lots of fun writing. We have a s'mores writing activity. We have an elaboration. We have a topic sentence. We have paraphrasing task cards. We have elaboration question cards. We have lots of transition practice. This is all free, all extra outside the curriculum stuff that we've created, and we're always creating things. So make sure if you've not using TopScore, take a look at this stuff, start using it. If you are using TopScore, these are great activities for May because a lot of them are fun. Okay, we also have a whole anchor chart collection here. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but there are tons of anchor charts. They're colorful, bright, engaging. You can use them in the classroom. They're a great way to kind of sum up what you've taught and have it up on your wall for your students. So, oh, here we go. Here's the anchor chart pictures. I wasn't sure I put them in here. So you can see that there's anchor charts. There's a ton of them. Here's just some of them. All right, but these are great, like I was saying, after teaching to have up as a reference for the students. Those are all free on our link tree. You can see here. I will link all this in the email following up as well, but here's our anchor chart link tree. And then that is my email here, lisa@topscoring.com. You probably have also maybe touched base with Jen, who's my CAO, or Katie, my director of curriculum. We are all available. You are able to email us anytime. If you guys have any questions, just know we have a big team and we are able to meet with you guys on Zoom for even 2 minutes. If you're like, Lisa, I don't have a lot of time, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, you want to jump on Zoom and just ask a question, we got it. If you want us to put together a quote for you, send over what you want, we'll put together a quote for you. So we're here to help. We really want you all to have a good plan for next year and have the right tools and resources. So just reach out to us and we're able to help with any of that. Okay, I'm going to stay on. If you have any questions, you can write them in the chat box. If not, you are free to go. Have a wonderful day, and please reach out if you need anything. We are here to help. Bye, everyone.